beautiful day, beautiful moments to you all. Welcome to another experience and movement and meditation and beyond. We're going to begin seated. I've been noticing that there's been a lot of external phenomena that have started to kind of weigh down a bit and kind of cause for me some head tension. I'm noticing recently I've got a lot of goo muck trapped around my mental sphere and in my neck and head and shoulders. And so today I'm just going to invite us into the theme of addressing headaches, preventing headaches, and dropping into a deep state of calm in the face of whatever each of us may be encountering at this time in our personal lives or perhaps in our reality within living in the United States. So here we are for peace and love and beyond. We're going to just begin with a check-in, and I'm going to invite us to find a seated position. Close your eyes and just begin to arrive where you are now. Arriving where you are now, closing your eyes, beginning to bring your awareness to your breath. Change one thing. And just continuing to drop into your body in this moment, connecting to your breath. Just acknowledging however you find yourself in this moment, wherever you've come from in the day, wherever you've come from in the week, however you find yourself in this moment, just give yourself the gift of letting all the shit that is not current go, being in this present moment and dropping into your body, feeling and connecting, listening to your breath. Drop your baggage at the metaphorical door of the past moment. For here we are in a new one with an opportunity to find a new space within ourselves. Continuing with the eyes closed, just dropping in to your body, feeling your bum on the ground, noticing your breath. Without judgment, just simply noticing where you are now. Slowly, when you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. Your hands meet, and just stepping into this practice, letting go of the weights of the world, stepping into the resilience of a calm and accessible being. In this moment, we begin with a deep breath. Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, opening the shoulders back. Giving yourself plenty of space wherever you find yourself to start to make a swimming motion. So we're inhaling up, exhaling back, inhaling up. A few rounds of these. Start to find your breath where you are now. There is no correct speed. Just meet yourself where you are with where your breath currently is. Exhaling out, inhaling up, exhaling down. And just find yourself going through these motions. We're warming up our shoulders, our neck, connecting to our breath. Taking it another direction, inhale out. Reaching here, arching, pulling into the core. And exhaling, open, reaching the chest forward, arching the back, the low back. Inhale out, reach, opening, inhale out, exhale, open, inhale, now we're swimming again, just starting to acknowledge the breath here as you find your own flow. We're swimming forward. And just beginning to do some shoulder rolls forward and backward, taking whatever direction suits you and just making sure you go both directions. Letting go of any goo-goo muck that's lingering in the shoulders, any anxiety, any angst, any shit that is in the tissues, just letting it go. Using sound as we explore in these movements to just let go of any weight that you may be carrying. Notice the quality of your tissues and your shoulders and your neck. And let go using sound and groan. When we allow these sounds, we are internally vibrating the tissue. We are communicating to our body that we are safe and we are ready to let go of anything that is weighing on us and creating grabbing or density in the tissues. We're just going to drop it out, let it go. And just take a deep breath. And we're going to explore next, see what we have today. So just beginning with some just little bit of a circle here, always being gentle when you go back. We really want to exaggerate on the downward rotation, dipping the chin to the chest. That's where we can get a deep stretch and really explore a lot of range. And as we come back, we stay mindful of our neck shape. We have this shape going on where we've got this slight curve in the neck. This helps with how we navigate in our bodies with gravity. And today I was just inspired coming back from my friend's class where we explored a technique called the bowing technique. And we look at these relationships in the body where we have availability between our vertebrae and our tissue. We can lift ourselves to meet gravity. We can lift ourselves with extension and flexion to be strong and reaching so we can meet gravity from a lifted standpoint. So fun ideas here. Just explore your range in your neck and just start to notice any space, any tension, the qualities of the neck. Just notice. We're going to just begin with some active release of the neck muscles leading down the back body. So we'll just go ahead and start with the left shoulder. So we'll just turn our head slightly here. The chin is facing towards the right hip. And we're just going to lean our heads back and lift the left shoulder to meet the back of the head. And going the other direction, exhaling, dropping the chin to your right shoulder, dropping the left shoulder down. On the inhale, we lift. And same thing, squeeze that left shoulder up to the back of the head. There is no proper way. We all have unique variations of how we find this movement. So just notice where you might feel stickiness or stiffness and lean into that direction as you bring your shoulder and your head together and apart. Definitely feel free to explore. And after taking a few rounds of those, we'll just go ahead and shift to the other side. So beginning to bring your chin to pointed towards your left hip. And here we're going to go ahead and just take the head back, leaning the head back towards the right shoulder, lifting the right shoulder, and dropping it down. And inhaling up. And dropping it down. And inhaling up. And dropping it down. Feel free to take any moments of pause as you are in the stretch. To deepen the awareness of the tissues and the qualities and the opening. Or the not opening, but using your breath, whatever the quality is, breathing into it, trusting that your body is designed to let go. It's up to our minds to let go of the wheel so the body may do what it does naturally. So we play with these patterns that bring us back into an experience within our own body that invites the natural flow in the face of all the insanities of the mind taking the wheel. Coming back, you might feel a little just tension now that we brought awareness to the quality of the shoulders and the neck. So we're going to just do a little bit more here with bringing our hands up and breathing in, breathing out, bringing the rhomboids together, bringing the shoulder blades together. So we're reaching back and we're bringing the shoulder blades together. So let's just take a few free movement of this. Exhale together. Inhale. Bring those elbows down and back. And just bringing the hands to the shoulders. Just playing with all that we just activated through squeezing and lengthening and breathing. Okay, and just letting these movements through. Just taking a moment to roll your arms in any direction you see fit. Follow me if you're not inspired. And if you are inspired, just take that movement however you feel that's available to you and you want to go. Just continuing to find the open spaces and letting go of that which is not in this moment, finding the softness in our tissues or finding the tension in our tissues and stepping into the experience where we will let go of the holding on that tissue. Ha, ha. Using sound to just let go of any quality. Perhaps you're noticing in the neck some stiffness, just allowing yourself to get internal vibration and a groan of what that quality feels like to you. Letting go. Letting go. Not to create force or strain. These sounds are to release internal tension, allow it to fall out of you. If it's not there, next, moving on. So here we are. We're going to just continue with looking at the shoulders and neck, just doing a few rotations. Getting the back at play with this connection to the upper back and the lower back, just acknowledging that we are a whole being. We have a whole spine from the tailbone to the back of the neck and the head. This connection is a natural pathway for energy to travel, to give us a sense of lightness, to free the mind from excess thought, and to invigorate a deep state of regulation. This is it's a naturally within our spines and just systems. So not here to preach today. We're going to continue forward. Now we're going to just take a few more neck stretches to continue to open up the back of the neck, and especially the muscles that are tying to how headaches are typically generated from behind the shoulders and up the neck. So here we're just going to take it again to the side. Take your chin to the right shoulder and bringing your right hand behind your head. We're going to dip the chin towards the right hip and increase this stretch by pulling with your hand down. And again, find the variation for you. Find the point, play with the angle at which you find the most tension, the most sharpness, and hold that and breathe into it. As you exhale, pull a little bit more down. Find depth in the stretch. Meet your edge. If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. Only go as far as you can take a full breath. And then go deeper. Slowly releasing the hand, and again bringing the head back to your left shoulder, raising your left shoulder up, meeting the back of the head, and releasing, bringing the head back down, stretching, finding new length across the body towards your right hip. And one more time, bring your head back, left shoulder to the back of the head, and dropping down. Always giving yourself permission. If you need permission, here's your permission. Let that shit go. Anything lingering in the tissue, let it out. And we're going to go to the other side. And slowly, we're going to bring the chin towards the left hip and reach towards the back of your head. And here we're deepening the stretch. So we're reaching down with our head, and then we're pulling little by little with our hand to deepen the stretch in our neck. And slowly on the inhale, when you're ready, we let go of the hand and we slowly lift the head, bringing it back at a tilt to meet the right shoulder, raising the right shoulder to meet the back of the head. And letting go, coming back the other direction, feeling the depth and the stretch, noticing any differences. Maybe you need a little bit more of a stretch here. Again, just add that hand to the back of the head and help yourself. And slowly releasing if you're using your hand, and inhaling, lifting that head back at an angle, bringing the right shoulder up. And again, some free movement, just making some figure eights with your nose. Or whatever feels right for you in your neck and head right now. Okay. And slowly, we're going to go ahead and just take a moment to bring your hands to the insides of your eye sockets and just press up and in. So I'm going at an angle, lifting and just very slightly up and in. Not extreme force here, but just enough to where you can begin to drop the weight of your head forward into your hands. And slowly releasing that hold. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and bring our hands, clasping them, bring them behind your neck. And we're going to go straight down. So bringing the chin to your chest.
with the chin to chest here and the hands behind the head, bringing your elbows together. Begin to pull, help yourself to a deeper stretch by pulling down towards your heels. And while you're here, begin to just slowly pivot here, bringing your head to either side. So starting to point your nose towards your right hip, pulling down on the back of your skull. Pivoting, just slowly making a little arc to the left hip. Noticing any sticky spots or any points of tension and just sticking around, hanging out in that area for a bit. Maybe rocking a little bit back and forth. On the inhale, slowly release the hands while the head is still down. On the inhale again, we slowly lift our heads.
Exploring, and once again, we're gonna just do a little bit of pulling the shoulder blades together behind the back, and we go out and we reach back. Bring your elbows in. Letting go. Letting go. And we're just going to take a little bit of different movement. So just begin to rotate the head from side to side, looking over your shoulders. Okay. We're going to go a little bit further in this by getting ourselves into a squat position. So again, we're focusing on the neck, but here getting into squat, while we're on the floor, some of the easiest things we can do is just start to wiggle yourself, walking your hands over towards your feet to where you're stacked. You start to roll your weight over your ankles and just lean forward. And here we are in a squat. And depending on where you are and how it is for you, if you find yourself where you come up and you have to lift your feet here, then grab something like a pillow or a blanket to come underneath the heels and support that lift. We want to have stability on the ground as we engage into squats. So we're looking for the centers of the feet should have access to contact on the floor or on a blanket or pillow in order to really start to engage this idea that we are grabbing the earth from the core, from the center of our feet, as much as we are lifting ourselves up, reaching up. So just something to consider here. Make sure your feet are supported. So here we are in squat. And if you find that we're going to do some neck stretches. We're going to be in squat for a moment. So if it is tasking for you to be in this position for a long time, you might also collect some pillows or books and bring them over to place underneath your bum so that you may be in this position without the strain that may have developed for you. So just make sure you take care. And if you don't do squats often, then, you know, I'll prompt you with some breaks in between here. So here we are squatting, and we're going to go into some more neck stretches. Here we are. So we'll go ahead and just take a deep breath, arriving in this posture. And slowly we'll just find ourselves again clasping our hands behind our head, just where our neck meets our skull, and dropping your head down, chin to chest, curling in. Inhaling, we lift our heads back up. And we can begin to just drop the shoulders back. So placing our hands on our knees, lifting our elbows to the sky. Here we are playing with lifting our shoulder blades off our back body. Coming into a twist, planting one hand before you on the ground, and slowly inhaling, lift. Coming down, planting the left hand, raising the right. Inhale, lift. Bringing the hand back down. And one more time, bring the hands to the knees and lift those elbows. Maybe lift the legs a bit and come back down. And if it's become tasking on the shins or the calves or the quads, just roll forward onto your hands and just take a moment to just roll off the weight into the hands, off the feet. Just giving yourself some rest. And now we're going to go into another posture. This is called the wise old man. So here we are with our arms in between our legs, and we're going to just start to squeeze our legs in. So we're pushing closed and we're squeezing the legs in, and then we're going to use our thumbs to place on the eye socket where the nose and the eyebrows meet. And use your thumb to just place your head right at that edge of the eye socket, right at the top part of the nose and somewhere near your eyebrows. And just start to drop the weight of the head as you very gently bring your legs together. So we're squeezing in a little bit with our knees into our elbows. And we're resting our heads down into the thumbs. Okay, from here, we're gonna do a little exercise just to help get our bums up. So we're gonna take a break if you need it. Remember, roll onto your hands, take some weight off of your feet, wiggle around a bit, maybe sit back and just give yourself a moment to come off of the squat position. But ultimately, we're gonna come into squat once more. And here we are in squat. We're gonna go ahead and reach our hands. I'm gonna scoot back a bit. I'm gonna have to adjust the camera in a moment. Reach our hands underneath the arches of our feet, closer to the balls of the feet. So our hands are chilling underneath our feet, and we're gonna take a few movements here where we're just going to slowly lift our bums up to the sky. And feel free, adjust your feet however you may need here. If you're feeling like it's too deep of a stretch, then bring your feet a little closer together, more like hip width for you. And here we're gonna do this movement. And then I'm gonna add a sound to it. Ha! So HA, this is called the Ha frog. We're just gonna build some internal heat before we come to standing. Ha! Release anything and everything that no longer serves you in this moment. Anything you came in with, let it out now. Ha! 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 And take as many as you need of those, and slowly when you're ready, we'll bring our bums up to the sky and we'll come into a forward fold. And on the next inhale, halfway lift. And back down. On the next inhale, lifting all the way. We are up. I'm going to adjust my camera. Let's see what we can do here. Great. Hello. We are standing. You have done it. We have squatted. We have ha'd. And now we're going to go ahead and just do a few more movements to support the neck and shoulder release and the connection from the head through the spine, relieving head tension, relieving long-standing stagnation, whether it's emotional weight of things that have bared on us a lifetime or maybe just happened, or perhaps this is just the state of our minds right now, being activated by what's happening around us. So ultimately, here we are coming into the pyramid. So coming into the pyramid, it's something like goddess, where we open our legs just a little bit more than hip width, and our feet toes are pointed slightly at an angle, and we come into a slight bend at the knee and allowing the back to do what it do. As you slightly bend at the knee here, you might notice a slight arch happening, and that's perfectly fine. We want to keep buoyancy so that we have stability and strength in this stretch, in this movement. So here we are in pyramid. We're going to bring our hands to just above our knees, and here we're not going to drop all the weight into the knees as much as we are going to meet the tissue. How can I say? We're just going to use our hands to cup the muscles without totally letting go into them. So here we are. And as we find ourselves in this, you may find that the quads are heating up, that you're getting a burn. This means you're doing it right. Breathe in. And you could come off it at any point if you need to, just straightening the legs and then coming back. And here, we're just going to take a few more movements. So again, with the ha, we're going to do this a different direction. So here we are. Lifting and ha! 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 And again, if you may feel this internal heat building, so just let yourself rise up at any moment and just release any intensity that has become too much. And just as much as it might be too much, just make sure you're also staying available to the heat if it is what you're needing at this time. Then allow that heat to build. Feel it, breathe into it. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and just take a few more movements. This time we're going to rotate. So just allow your right shoulder to drop forward and start to look over your left shoulder. And take it the other direction. And just go a few times in each direction, looking over your shoulders. And coming back to center. And slowly rising up. And just allow yourself here. We're just going to let go of anything we've noticed and that tension patterning in our own bodies, anything, any heat buildup, anything that has risen for us to notice at this time. We're just going to kick it out, shake it out. Ha! 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 Letting go, letting go, letting go. So as we find ourselves standing and enlivened, I'm just going to invite that we take a moment to come into a standing meditation and generate a moment of stillness. So it's remaining standing. I'm just adjusting the camera so that it's easy for me to show you these points up close. So we're going to come into a brain balancing technique and find a moment of stillness. So find yourself standing with your feet together, but to where you feel balanced, bringing your thumbs out and crossing them, placing them on your sternum, the edge of the clavicle here, placing your thumbs on the edges of your sternum and clavicle, closing your eyes, and take a moment to notice where you are now. Noticing the breath. Noticing any sensations moving through the body. Take a few more inhales and exhales. Letting go. And shifting your hands to where we're placing them over our hearts. Stacking the hands. Breathing into the chest, breathing into the heart. Acknowledging newfound space in the chest from opening the back body, releasing the neck. And saying thank you. Thank you, body, for carrying me through each day in the face of all the insanities around me and within me. Thank you for beating. Thank you, heart, for beating without me having to tell you so. Just acknowledging the body's intelligence and innate abilities to support itself. Giving thanks for that support in order for us to let go a little bit more in each moment. Letting go of our tension, letting go of our frustrations. Opening the pathways for vitality in our bodies and minds, and trusting that all is well. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy